Hey guys, welcome back to the kitchen. Today is a super stormy, blowy day. Here in East Tennessee, they don't happen very often, but we are predicted to get between 3 to 6 inches of snow. All the kids are home from school today, so if you hear them in the background, that is why. I got a pot of soup on the stove here getting ready to warm up. All the extras will go into canning like we've done before. That's how I like to do things in our house. We got to keep it all reusing and using everything that we can. Sorry, my youngest is over there. So today I thought I'd share with you guys how I make a super easy, overnight, no kneading bread loaf. It is delicious. My kids love it. We like to slice it up and use it for peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. It makes it a little fancier than regular store-bought sandwich loaf bread. And it's so easy. So follow along and we'll make some bread together. All right, so this one is super simple. We've got our bowl, we've got yeast, flour, and salt, and water. Gotta have water, and that's it. That is all you need, and a stirry thing. I like my silicone spatulas because they're easy to clean, and that's important to me. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put 3 cups of flour into our bowl. It doesn't have to be bread flour, it can be regular all-purpose flour. You probably don't wanna use self-rising flour, but otherwise it's fine. So 1, whoops, about lost it. 2, 3. 3 cups of flour, set it off to the side. Next, we're gonna do our yeast. It doesn't have to be fancy yeast. Again, I don't do things fancy. I buy these in bulk and like 2-pound packs of it from Costco, actually. My mother buys them for me because it's cheaper there. And then I put them into mason jars and put them in the freezer to save them for later. So we need a half a teaspoon. Yes, that's right. Only a half a teaspoon of yeast for an entire loaf of bread. Then we need 1 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Now you don't have to use the full amount if you don't like your bread very salty. That's fine. We like it in our house. So we use the full amount. 1 3/4 there on the other side. Now if you remember from last time we made bread, you want to keep your yeast and your salt separate until you stir everything together, because salt will kill the yeast. So you want to keep them separate as long as possible. Well, I almost used my hand. I usually do, but for today I'll be proper and use a spoon and stir it all together. All right. Are you ready? Here comes the really hard part. 1 1/2 cups of room temperature water. Doesn't have to be warm, doesn't have to be cold, whatever. You dump it in and then you stir it all together. This is the most labor-intensive part of this bread, right here. This is it. You guys tired yet? Is it hard work? You want to mix it all up until it's nice and incorporated. If you need to add a little more, it's a little dry, fine. If you need to add a little bit of flour because it's a little wet, fine. Now this bread is not like your normal bread that you would sit and knead. It's gonna be a super wet dough. And I'm actually thinking, even with this consistency right here, this is normally what I would look for in my bread, but really it's a little bit dry. So I might add just a tish more water to this because you really want it to be good and wet. All right, let's add just a little bit at a time. You can always fix it by adding more flour if you add too much. There we go. This is looking a little better. So I'm not sure if you can see it in the video or not, but it's got a good sheen to it. And even if yours is a little bit wetter than this, it's fine. When you wake up tomorrow, it'll be more liquid still. So let's scoop it all together, scrapey the sides. There we go. Perfect. Now this is done. We're done with that. We're all done with our labor. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cover this with saran wrap of some kind. I like to use the press and seal because it's easier. Uh-oh, I did not do a good job tearing that. Wow, that was awful. All right, so we're gonna press down the edges on this. Gives it a nice, wonderful seal. And you're gonna leave it at room temperature overnight. So 16 to 24 hours. You let it just hang out. And that is it. Ooh, my youngest did not understand how long it would take, and he just screamed 16 at me. So here in my house, I don't like to pay for gas heating very much. So the warmest and most room temperature room in our house is not my kitchen. It is my living room sitting next to the fireplace. So I'm gonna set this in there until tomorrow morning, and I'll meet you guys back then and we'll finish it up. We'll see you then. Welcome back. It has been close to 24 hours. We want that to rise 16 to 24 hours, and it has been rising all night long. So let's open it up, see what it looks like. Whoa. So while the snow is blowing and throwing it everywhere, piling up all over the farm, this has been rising and it looks glorious. This is exactly what you want it to look like. So I know this doesn't look like bread, but just wait. So you want a little bit of water. This is all this is. It's just water to wet your hands. Just a little bit so they're wet, and that way the dough doesn't stick to you. And you're gonna pull it up and fold it over. If you get a little sticky, you can do it again. Pull it up, fold it over. Pull it up, fold it over. One last time. Pull it up, fold it over. So that's trapping a lot of those gases inside while making it into a big floppy ball. So now you're gonna take that and put it onto some parchment paper. So while this is resting for just a little bit longer, we're going to get our oven set up. Okay, while your bread is resting after you folded it over, you wanna preheat your oven to 450 degrees. But the key thing is you wanna put that Dutch oven inside. That Dutch oven is what's gonna give you that crispy, crusty crust. So once that heats up, we'll come back and we'll put the bread into the Dutch oven. All right, so our oven is preheated, cast iron is in there, and it is super, super hot. Super hot! So now, with your oven mitts, because seriously, 540 degrees. Switch that. 450 degrees. I can't say anything. All right, here we go. It's going in, and here come my children just in time. All right, hot stuff, do not touch it. Seriously, massive burns will ensue. All right, in it all goes, and cover it up with the lid, and we're gonna bake it for 30 minutes. Timer, 30 minutes. All right, we'll be back. Okay, so it's been 30 minutes. It is now time to remove the lid. Take the lid off, set it aside. Remember, it's super hot, so let it be. Or it needs to be on somewhere that's gonna be heat resistant. And we're gonna let it bake for another 20 to 25 minutes until the top of it is nice and golden brown. Alrighty, here we go. So I set my timer for 20 minutes, and I stopped it a little early because I went and I checked on it, and this is just glorious. Oh my goodness. So again, remember, things in your oven are hot. Huh, who would have thought? All right, switching over, hang on. Okay, here it comes. You guys ready for this? It's beautiful. Ta-da! Woohoo, that was bad, sorry. So this is our wonderful bread loaf. You can hear how yummy crusty that is. So if you've never done bread before, you want to listen to the bottom. You want that nice hollow sound. My youngest is here. He's still wearing his coat from playing outside. Hi.
Hi. I said hi to them.
So that's all there is to it. It's got this wonderful crust. You want to wait for it to cool completely, several hours at least, before you cut into it. Otherwise the inside will get all gummy mushy and it's just not as good texture on your mouth. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you learned something and I really hope that you try it. If you do, please show me how it went down in the comments. Hit that like button and subscribe to watch more videos here on the farm. Thanks guys, have a great day.